What's the crack, lads? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at some of the FIFAe World Finals, and we're going to start with the semi-final, which was the best of three between Spain and Brazil, and we just kind of have the main highlights. Right now I'm going to do a deep dive on V4.2 and on all the issues with the game and on what needs to change with the gameplay. But I do think that looking at something like this, where you've got guys that are, at the top of their game, so to speak, that are able to control the variables better than anybody else. These guys have qualified for the countries, played against some of the best players in the world, and come up trumps, getting to the semi-final. And you're going to see a couple of different patterns in the game, right? The first thing that you're going to spot, and I'm not going to go into like a heavy analysis on this. We're just actually going to watch the highlights. And we'll also have the Turkey semi-final against Indonesia as well. And then in the final, we'll go into a bit of a deep dive. And then I'm going to do another video, which will be a deep dive as to how the gameplay works from a mechanical point of view. If you guys are looking to improve your game, if you guys are looking to control the variables a bit more, because the gameplay is very chaotic at the moment. So the first thing that you're going to probably notice is a lot of lofted through balls, right? And a lot of balls just booted up into the air. Now, you'll notice that a lot of the time, these guys don't get the ball intercepted. Like, they don't really get caught on the break. And when they do get caught on the break, it's usually a really solid chance, or else it's a goal, because they're obviously so good at attacking. But again, from the rip there, you're going for a big, huge hoof. And what they're waiting for there is the ball to break down, whether it's a clean header, whether it's a bobble interception like this, whether it's a clunky mess. That's kind of what they're doing. Again, Spain return it. Morata wins it. He actually loses the header, but still wins it back down to himself. Passes it into Ferran Torres. You see a bit of a shoulder charge there. And you can see that a lot of the time, it is just hoofing the ball up here, looking for breaks, looking for knock-ons, looking for knockdowns. And you're going to see the goal here very, very quickly. It's going to come from an aerial ball like this. So there's one chance there. The keeper probably should catch that. But obviously, these players are stat balanced, so the keepers are not over 90 rated. They don't have ridiculously high-powered stats and skills. So it is going to be difficult to catch balls like that compared to it being Schmeichel or Petr Cech. But that kind of starts the downfall for Spain in this game, right? Because you're going to see a corner here come in from Arthur. Now, what do we say about knockdowns? You get the ball into Joelinton, it pops down to Renan Lodi, and it's in the back of the net. Very simple goal. There's nothing really Spain can do about that. Obviously, you would question the manualness of the goalkeeper or the manual controlling of the goalkeeper, but that is very, very effective in the game, is knockdowns like that to a central figure, win the ball, and even if you don't win the ball clean, you're getting the ball up. Now, I'm going to analyze why they do that in the next video that we do. As I said, I'm not going to go into a massive deep dive in this, because this match is like 13-14 minutes long, and it's more just about the highlights and actually seeing how the game actually operates from a fundamental point of view, right? You'll notice that a lot of the time when they've got a chance to build an attack on the deck, they will not do it, right? They'll literally boot the ball. Again, you've Neymar out here in the width. The Brazilian boys are brilliant dribblers. This is the first bit of play that they're going to do. But again, it's a knockdown and they're waiting for that chance. And there is a brilliant chance that has come from three intricate passes on the ground, tiki-taka, touch and move. And then it's that little lob ball up for a knockdown to go on. Why they do the knockdown like this, and again from the corners, this is what they're trying. It's not so much to, have a 100% complete pass rate. It's more so that like when the ball goes up, even if the defending team wins it clean, where's the ball going to actually break? Do you know what I mean? That's kind of why they're doing this. Again, you see Brazil there try and knock it down. They're looking for scraps. Rafinha, brilliant dribbling, and it's a lucky save there from the keeper. That was the 91st minute on the clock. Last chance of the game. Arthur again with a double touch. Out to Vanderson. We're going to go for that knockdown, but he can't get the ball back in. And this match was going to go to extra time and penalties. We watched this live on the stream. It was a very exciting round of three. But yeah, that is what you'll see here again. Watch back to Marquinhos as you're deep sitting, hoof the ball forward, and again, you're going to see it with Danilo. It's all ranged attacks. You're never really going to get caught in possession when you do that, because by the time that the ball is traveling through the air, right, and you can try this, and I'll show you this in training mode, right, and I'll show you a couple of tips in game as well, playing against high division ranked players, and just kind of like analyze the actual gameplay from the core. You will see a lot of the time that once the ball goes up, by the time the ball comes down to contest, it's going to be all your players in their natural default position. Now, this match did go to penalties, as you see here. And penalties are always exciting, boys. They're always exciting. And again, penalties are a lottery. I honestly feel that like when a match goes to penalties, it is just a lottery. You can see here again that Pedro, he misses the first one to start off Brazil on the back foot. Spain, advantage Spain. And again, I think that with the penalties, yes, you can choose to power up the bar yourself and you can do too much power, but I think the penalties, there is a bit of randomness in it. I don't know how you guys feel, but sometimes I feel like I take 5-6 penalties in a row over the course of a week of playing. And sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't. I mean, the penalty training system at the start of the game is another example of that. If the goalkeeper chooses right, as he does here, it's just not going to go in. You know what I mean? There's no alternate kind of like animation or anything like that. It's literally you choose an empty spot in the net. If the goalkeeper isn't there, it goes in, or else it goes wide, and that's it. But Spain eventually get off to the mark with 4 penalties taken. Spain have only scored 1. Brazil have scored none. So they get the first blood. And then, of course, it is going to be Ronnie. This guy is a beast, man, with the stat balancing. He's very, very strong. Usually when they power up the full bar like this, it usually goes bottom low, or else in that little area there, say the last kind of like third of the net. It's never really too high. These guys don't ever really go too high. The odd time they'll mix it in, as you see here. Another low shot there for Spain to get the 2-1 up advantage. But usually these guys will always go low because they can max out the power bar. There is one spot that is impossible to save, but it's very, very risky. It's the top left corner of the net, like the postage stamp. But again, there's a save from Brazil's 3rd or 4th penalty. Spain know that if they score this one, they're going to get a game, and Brazil took the first leg. Spain need to get back into the second leg, or the second match of this. I do like the best of 3. I felt the final, which we'll cover as well, should have been a best of 5. But then I think if you lose 2 games in a row, or you win 2 games, it probably should be enough. And again, Spain go low and they take it home, right? So that was the match 2. So Brazil 1 match, Spain the second match, and then the 3rd match we have here again. Now watch this again, right? From the tip, Morata back to Rodri. Boot the ball up, wait for the ball to spill. Morata gets it. He doesn't win it clean, but then again, it's booted forward by Brazil. And you'll question it and say, why are they just booting this ball forward like a tennis game? I've already said it, right? And we'll analyse that with a little bit of screens, and we'll analyse that with a little bit more detail. It is to reset your player's position. That's what it is to do. And anybody can play like this. You know, you, me, we can learn a lot of tips from this if you want to play the game this way. The difference being, lads, is that a lot of the time, man, you know, when you're playing a competition or when you're playing an esports, event, there's big money on the line. There's real money on the line. That's an unbelievable goal. It comes from another knockdown, a brilliant, brilliant finish, but it's offside. But it's again another knockdown. And you're going to see that time and time and time again. You're going to see it in the semi-final as well. You're going to see a goal here in a second that is just sums up the current meta or the current way to play this game. There's multiple ways to play this game, boys. If you guys like playing out wide and like crossing the ball in and like playing possession and like holding on to 70% possession, brilliant. If that's what your enjoyment is of the game. However, it doesn't really work. You know what I mean? It's not effective. It's not meta. It doesn't really reward you because the game is mostly about just getting bobbles and getting balls, you know, that are I suppose, it's all about the breaking ball, man. It's like a game of snooker or a game of pool. Right, you can control as much as you can control about it, but sometimes when you boot the ball forward, you're just waiting to see what the AI do with it. Again, there's a ground pass that's intercepted, they get lucky. This is a very, very lucky break from Spain here. Brazil don't really do anything there, but nothing comes of it. 90 minutes on the clock, Ronnie intercepts. This is a great chance here. Probably should have delayed the pass a little bit, but it's a brilliant move, and another excellent interception as well from Spain, but a great move, right? A great move. So this goes to extra time. And in the 90th minute, again, Zubimendi, who's come on for Rodri, is going to boot the ball forward, win the ball clean, but Spain still get it. So even though Brazil win that ball clean, Spain still get it, right? Nico Williams out in the width, crosses the ball in, far post, Joselu back, and it bounces in off the keeper. That kind of sums up where the gameplay is at in terms of, I don't know what more Brazil can really do there. I mean, it's a bit of unfortunate kind of like collisions, and it just bounces off a standard player that's kind of just bopping up like that as well. So it's 1-0 Spain. And again, how is the equaliser going to come? Well, you're going to have it right there. A ball launched up, it's won, it's lost, it bobbles, it reflects, you know, you can see it here. It's won, it's bounced off the Spanish guy, then it bounces off the back of the Brazilian player, then bounces off the Spanish player, and then it falls for a snapshot in. Look, bounce, 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 bounce. It's actually a lovely control. Bounces off his knee into the pad. That's just a variable you cannot control, man. It bounces perfectly into the pad from Brazil from a stray AI leg. And that's kind of what can be frustrating. That's why a lot of the time they'll boot the ball and reset. Again, there's a half chance there if it bounces to Joselu. Maybe that's a finesse finish and game over. Spain go through. But we do go to the penalties again. Now, with this one, I think this one is a longer penalty shootout. But obviously you can see here that there's a bit more movement this time from the Brazil goalkeeper. And that might just slightly... Maybe the long game is being played here, where it slightly jars the Spanish boys. I mean, these two boys, Mestre and De Palma, man, they're insanely talented. Like they're just unbelievable players. But Victor and Gofera as well, I mean, equally so. And it's just a little bit of luck, I think, at this stage. You know, I've taken enough penalties to know. Again, there's a good example of it there, man. That penalty looked perfect to me in terms of the position, in terms of the power. And just the way he struck it, it's just always going on the outside of the post, which is very frustrating. Again, Spain get off to a disaster start. This time a save with the legs, David De Gea style. And Spain are in trouble here. I think if Spain had scored that penalty, I think they maybe could have won it. I think that was kind of the turning point in it, because I feel as if that was a big say, because Brazil then are going to draw first blood. Brazil don't score there, but if Spain had drawn first blood, I think in that last shot, and obviously Morata is going to be one of their better penalty takers, they could have gone in 2-1. Do you know what I mean? They could have gone 2-0 up. So they would have had scored the last penalty. They would have this penalty here to score as well. It could have been 2-0. And I think that would have been a big lead for Spain in these penalties, because it's always going to be, 1 divided by 1, right? But yeah, I think Brazil just get back to winning ways, man. With their second penalty. Spain missed their first 2. Brazil missed their first 2. Then they pop it in. That's what he was trying to do in the last one. A bit of confidence to go back for the same position, max out the bar as well. We do have Fabian Ruiz here as well. Can Spain go 2-1 up and then Brazil to match them back? Or is this going to be a save? A little bit of movement for Bento there that locks into position. And again, Spain choose wrong and Brazil choose right. And that's all that it is, man. It's a bit of mind games. Yes, there is skill involved in it. Yes. But at the end of the day, it is a bit of a lottery. Without taking anything away from anyone that wins on penalties, man. It's more about dealing with the pressure and just choosing the position that you want and living and dying by your choices, right? So Brazil do the cheeky Panenka there, and that means that now Brazil have gone 2-1 up. So we've had the flip. Spain actually could have went either 2-0 up, they could have went 2-1 up, and now on the flip side, Brazil actually go 2-1 up, which means that Spain are fighting back. So now they draw it, but Brazil know that if they score this, it's game over. So this is kind of the little bit of... Yeah, this is the little bit of mind games, and I suppose you can see there again, Spain moving the keeper at the last second. Danilo misses it. And I think that Brazil have missed 2 penalties that are largely not their fault. The one that hit the outside post and that one there. As I said, there is a bit of a lottery kind of luck aspect to it as well. Yes, choosing right, keeping your bottle, all that is brilliant, of course. But now we go into sudden death. We've got Zubimendi who's come on for Rodri, and he's going to slot the ball straight at the keeper. So that means that Spain have now missed 4 penalties. Brazil have missed 3. But this is going to be the clincher. It is Arthur himself who's been brought on as a sub, as far as I know. He's going to take his time. He's going to be patient. I think it's Jay Victor who's going taking it. And it's popped in the bottom corner. And that is the win for Brazil. So let me know what you guys think of these videos, lads. They're kind of an extended highlights package look at the matches. Until next time, I'll talk to you in a bit.